Here we are, another Friday Night Live, and away we go. Hope everybody's doing amazing. I started a few seconds early because with this new system, it's a bit tedious. It's a bit tedious to get started, but hey, we had a beautiful, sunny, warm day. I spent it underneath my car, ripping up all the old rusty fuel lines. I thought I was going to get it done today, but I don't have the tool for this flares they had, so it didn't work out. I have to order pre-made fuel lines instead of ordering tools to make those fuel fitting flares. But hey, it is what it is. Lots of fun working underneath the car on the driveway. If you've never done it, I suggest give it a try. Neck sore is holding up the neck all day. But hey, we'll get it done. Just gotta wait for the new lines to come in. Hope you're doing all wonderful out there. Living it, loving it. Clean, minimal eating. Stay away from those horrible fats. I don't care what anybody says. Just because people have been eating fats and oils for thousands of years doesn't make it right. People have been killing each other for thousands of years doesn't make it right. Renato, living and loving it. Yeah, awesome. Everybody has opinions, it's like we say, everybody has got at least one or two. Same as a-holes. But what happens when you start consuming fats? You'll see the skin all nice and shiny and glowy. It looks wonderful. Just until until what? Until it starts shutting things down. I thank I thank the divine creator for putting me down the road of keeping my senses it's very sensitive and very aware. So when I'm consuming things, I can feel the effects on them very quickly. You know, those high fat days where I'm just looking back, my goodness, they're addictive. It's very addictive. Uh, all stimulants, right? And they're very addictive. You start consuming these things, you start enjoying them, and the addiction takes over, and then you start justifying. Are you not sharing Zoom links to the lives? Does the Zoom link not work? Well, it's all on the website. Maybe that don't work anymore. I don't know. It should work. I'm using the same number for years. Renato, it's on the website. It's not there. I haven't changed anything. Let me have a quick look. Um, Zoom protocol, and that should be it. It should be the same number as always, unless I hooked up the wrong call. Mm, 0751. No, it's always the same one I use. It's on the website. We haven't changed anything. Oh, you're there. Okay. Hey, Renato. What's happening?
Hey Gino,
All okay?
all perfect. How are you feeling?
I'm a little tired working underneath my car all day.
Are you
But
still doing martial arts, MMA?
yeah, I go twice a week.
Is it called just MMA or is it any specific modality? Just
No,
mix
no MMA, no fighting stuff. No, no. It's the traditional jiu-jitsu, Aikai jiu-jitsu, the original Japanese, which all the Japanese martial arts come from that one there. It's the old original one.
the
Not,
OG,
not
okay.
many people stick to it because it's painful, but it's all in the head, right? Because it's actually therapy when you're hitting pressure points and stuff, and you just have to change your way of thinking to believe it's therapy, and it is because you do feel better when there's a relief. You're being held in locks and stuff, and then you release it because we're not doing it to hurt anybody, but we're doing it to feel. And when you release, it's energetic flow. It opens up.
Oh yeah, I
So
imagine emotion flows hitting
it's
those
yeah,
pressure
oh
points.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like we had in the last 9 years. I don't know how many people come and go, just come and go. Some guys, one class, and they're gone. They feel a little bit of pain, but it's an awesome art, and it's we look forward to going, and it's uh, it's not for everybody, that's for sure. There's very few people who will stick to it to get a black belt. I can't remember what the number is, 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 1,000 that'll get a black belt or something. But there's hardly any people who stick to it. So it's like with anything. The hardest thing about martial arts is showing up. That's the
Mhm.
for people to show up. So
Very interesting. I never really looked at like that because I guess those pressure points weren't really emphasized on when I trained martial arts. Like it seems that the OG one was just around essentially trauma release, you know?
you're doing martial arts?
I was.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
kind?
It was it was mixed. They called it like self-defense. There
So,
was no specific kind. There was a time I was doing jiu-jitsu also. Yeah.
which type? Brazilian?
Brazilian, yeah.
Yeah, that's a sport, right? It's not an art.
Yeah.
Because they got rules when it's
Mm-hmm.
it's not an art, it's a sport.
Yeah. Since
And
you had the rules.
or in self-defense out there, if somebody's attacking you, you don't want to be on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last place you want to be. You
Yeah.
want to have the other people on the ground. You know,
Of
you
course.
don't want to end up on the ground. That's
Yeah.
but yeah, they're all good. Whatever you like. Some people like the sports, and some people like the arts. And then you have what's the other one? Aikido, which comes from Aiki Jiu-Jitsu. That one's more of it's more of a beautiful art to practice. It's not
Mm-hmm.
really a self-defense thing, but that they took out a lot of things and they made it into like Aikido, right? From Aiki Jiu-Jitsu, because the guy who did Aikido was the teacher, I mean, a student of the Aiki Jiu-Jitsu. I can't remember the names, Japanese names. I'm, I'm, I'm horrible remembering names of Japanese stuff, but
Well,
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
these all seem to train the chief executive officer of our body, like the this part, you know,
Brain.
the the I would say the master within, like getting it out and revealing that. Yeah.
Yeah, martial arts started in India. Most people don't know. With the protect the yogis. That's
Mm.
started, and then it went to China and then Japan, wherever everywhere else. But yeah, the Japanese Aikido Jiu-Jitsu is just brutal. It's uh it's fun. We don't go there to get hurt. We go there to just learn, different moves and stuff and enjoy ourselves.
Hmm.
Yeah, you feel pain, but like I said, it's therapy.
Yeah.
Go in there with that mentality, it's therapy. Just like you go for a massage, you're gonna feel some pain, right? Especially if they dig deep.
Yeah.
No difference. So start going again.
Yeah. Start going again. Well, what is the OG modality name again?
Sorry?
You said like the original martial arts. You said something about that. What
The
was the name?
Aikido Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu. That's the one you're attending?
Yeah, that's the original Japanese that all come from that. Aikido, what's the other one called? Karate, um, the judo, they all come from that. And then there's many other things. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they learned moves from
Mm-hmm.
Aikido Jiu-Jitsu and they made it their own. They all come from Aikido Jiu-Jitsu, all of them. The Japanese martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Chinese is different. And they all have similarities anyway, because they
Mm-hmm.
all come from India and they moved out. And then,
Yeah.
and then you have stuff in all the other places, you have Filipino, you have Korean karate and jujitsu, I think they have, and there's so many. But they're all very similar. British jujitsu, there's a class they do British jujitsu, and they all come from Aikido.
Why do you think most the people that create the most impact in the world, I would say, have a background in military or MMA? It seems to be the case.
People have to be focused and serious, mentally focused when you're doing these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially people are doing, fighting. It's For me, it's a horrible sport to go fight. Why do you want to beat somebody up? I don't know. And people get off on that, and how many people love watching that? Lots of people.
Yeah.
It's always been like that, from the Roman times and before. The ancient Greece, they used to, wrestling and stuff. Wrestling's not so much brutal, but these days, MMA and all, they're pounding the hell out of each other, right?
It's just satanic.
Boxing, they're pounding each other's head. And then there's
Yeah.
the new thing, they're just slapping each other. Man, how idiotic. And you destroy your brain, man.
Yeah.
Concussions. You're giving each other concussions over and over. Like these people are gonna end up serious trouble down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're not fasting, the body's not going to heal properly,
Oh yeah.
as we know. Unless you fast, the body
Yeah.
will never heal properly. Never. I don't care what anybody says. Because what the experiences we've seen over the last 9 years, people with old injuries that thought they'd healed through their fast, they started, it came up again. So it resurfaced, that old injuries,
Mhm.
and it had to heal properly. So this is why, you know, fasting lifestyle is the way that what we believe and our opinions to make it to live it as a lifestyle, because we're being continuously injured in many different ways, right? From the
Mhm.
in the air, the water, the food, the frequencies, and physical injuries, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't stand a chance in today's world if you're not doing something to counteract all that crap that's bombarding us and injuring us.
Yeah.
Right? So fasting is take a break and allow the body to purge, and it restores itself. It's
Mhm.
Mother Nature. You leave it alone, it restores itself. Animals, same thing, right? They get injured or sick, they fast, and they heal or they die. It's that's the beauty of nature. It's to continue the species. You can't have the weak reproducing.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the species would not maintain itself. Like um, there's when they do genetically modified animals, um, I think it was chickens. Um, when they left them alone, and I can't remember how many generations it was, 7, 9 generations or something. They reverted back to the original.
Mm.
So it
Yeah.
just shows you this genetically modified. To me, it's injuring. It's not modifying anything because it goes back if you leave it alone. So just think of perfection that the creator made everything. And
Yeah.
here we are with science, with the white jackets telling us that they know better and that they can manipulate and change things. Not bull crap. It's just a joke.
Yeah,
And people buy
exactly.
into it. People buy into it because that Luciferic intellect, the gift of the gab, it sounds wonderful because we've all grown up being manipulated and mind controlled to believe all that stuff. And that's what people believe. Just look, what do people do when they get sick? They go to the white jackets.
Mhm.
That's what they believe, right? Majority of people go that route. The last 4 years, what happened? Everybody did that and that. They believed it. The majority
Mhm.
of people on the planet did it. You don't believe mind control works? Oh, you better believe it works. That was beautiful evidence that shows you how efficient they are at mind control.
Yeah, social engineering. And it really, well, of course, because then we will be basing our own judgment on their aligning to their own intellect. Our judgment will be the same unless we're done with suffering. We get to the point where there must be something more than the paradigm I'm experiencing, right? And then breakthroughs come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, life's enjoyable, man. It's if we have the attitude that there's always something to learn, and uh, no matter what happens, it's there. We're all gonna leave the physicality. It's sad when our loved ones perish, and this is all part of the cycle, and we all learn from something. But as the sickness that's happening now is just incredible. I just went to go see another cousin with pancreatic cancer, and it's just one after another. Family,
Mm.
friends, and everybody else out there. Just things are happening, bang, 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 more than ever. It's crazy times, crazy times, and here you are. People are doing all kinds of crazy things, going back to flesh-eating diets and high-fat diets and all this stuff. And yeah, okay, there's a price to pay, cause and effect of everything. These high stimulating addictive diets, there's always a price to pay. It's just a matter of time. And,
Yeah.
the quality of the foods these days is not great. They're manipulating everything. That's why we just ozonate everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever we buy, we ozonate.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it comes in the home, ozonate it. Just clean up as best we can. Like 30 minutes, everything tastes better. And is it going to remove 100%? Nothing's 100%, but just breathing air, we're getting all kinds of crap. Just working on the car in the sunlight. I'm just standing there, thinking what to do. And the way that the light was hitting, I can see all kinds of dust particulates in the air because it was a
Mm-hmm.
breeze, and it's just full. The air is full
Mm-hmm.
of these particulates, and we're breathing this stuff in. It's all kinds of stuff. And they're spraying and everything else. Cars moving and construction going on and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the wind's blowing it from other places. But I don't know if you noticed, if you open windows in a home, you get way more dust inside the home, way more dust.
Mm.
Yeah. So, uh,
Well, with breathing, it seems so each one of us has our own trauma, paradigms, beliefs, definitions. And it seems with breathing, what actually creates our body is the intention in which we actually breathe. So I actually believe that we have a mechanism to filter what's going on in our environment through the intention of the actual breath. And the base intention to filter, I'll say UV light through the UV light, it's just our own UV mechanism of the breath is just smiling while breathing. What do you think of that? Smiling and breathing.
smiling is wonderful. It's much less muscles used to smile than to frown, you know that?
Uh-huh.
Much less muscles, much less stress. And yeah, laughing is good. This is good medicine, right? It's the best medicine. Children laugh hundreds of times a day, and adults. Some adults don't laugh, for days.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, people on that choose to do psychiatric drugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because they feel they're depressed, they've been diagnosed,
Yeah, they get numb.
and there's no smiling, and very rarely. But
Yeah.
take some mushrooms, you'll be smiling. They've done studies of people, depression. They do one round of magic mushrooms, and they're good for 6 months.
Yeah. And the experience recall is there always. It's like
The
an
breath,
impactful
as you were
experience.
saying, sorry, the breath, as you were saying, is emotion, right? It's the emotion. And what do we suggest in this realm? We suggest breathe less, not more. Breathe less,
Mm.
especially you're living in these toxic environments. We don't want to be taken in large amounts of this stuff with these particulates. And CO2 is the element that transfers energy. So we need to build up CO2. That's why the body makes it, right? And breathing less is how we build up CO2. So you'll be more oxygenated when you breathe less. It's the other way around. Everything we've been taught is backwards, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything we've been taught is pretty much a lie. So breathing less, you'll see, the Buteyko type breathing that spells out very basically and simply on how to practice and maintain this type of breath work, nasal minimal breathing. And we're breathing low, very deep, right into the lower belly,
Mm-hmm.
very, very deep, like babies. But we're not breathing very minimal breaths. And then we're doing controlled pauses. If you don't know what that is, and the exhale, nasal breathing, you hold. And you're doing that throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
You sit down and you do a session of 9 rounds or something or more of doing these controlled pauses. But throughout the day, if you're conscious of this type of breathing and you change your lifestyle to make it part of your lifestyle, this breathing, then you'll see that you'll be doing controlled pauses all the time throughout the day. And that's what I try, I practice. I'm doing it all the time. Even when I'm exercising, you're doing controlled pauses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a strange feeling when you start doing this. It feels like you're suffocating, and then you know you're on the right track. Because once you get past that feeling of suffocation, it takes a few months, then you start getting oxygenated
Yeah.
like never before. And
Mm-hmm.
your endurance goes way up.
Yeah, I imagine adrenal function will go. Yeah.
So everything starts working better.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty amazing. Some people go through detox symptoms when they start practicing this type of breathing. Meaning like they start getting colds and flus and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's moving energy,
Yeah.
CO2, just by changing the breath. Like all sick people are mouth breathers, right? And
Yeah.
if you watch all sick people go to hospitals, they're breathing up here. They're not breathing
Yeah.
low.
Very shallow mouth breathing. Yeah.
So if you watch people that are sick, if you've ever been to hospitals or in old age homes, especially, they're breathing up here. So we want to do the opposite, right? We want to eat less, we want to breathe less, we want to drink less, and enjoy life more, and
Yeah.
have more time for everything else, and more energy for everything else. So you just keep going and enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
Share your love, with people, and this is what it's all about. The dry fasting, when you are practicing, or when you're living the mass fast lifestyle, the dry fasting is the essential part of it. You'll notice that in the dry fast, your controlled pauses of the Buteyko type breathing will be way longer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you overeat, they'll be way shorter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
makes sense.
the answers are in plain sight if we pay attention.
Yeah.
We just need to pay attention when we're in a fasting state, when we're drinking just liquids, and when we're eating just fruit, when we're eating heavy, and when we're overeating, and pay attention to all the different scenarios, and you will
Mm.
see how much more energy you can get out of a dry fast when you've been doing this a while and you're cleaned out. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a
Yeah.
few years, but it's incredible the difference. Like you know, there's athletes who practice the Buteyko type breathing, and they share the information of how much better they can perform, and they're hardly breathing. Like before, and it takes time to do it. In
Yeah.
martial arts, we're doing the ki high. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm trying to do everything through my nose, and the teacher's going, use your mouth. I don't want to use my mouth. But it's because when your sinuses are clean, you can get more air out of your mouth because it's bigger, but I can get quite a bit of air out of my nose because they're clear.
Mm-hmm.
When you're all plugged up, can't get anything out of your nose, can't even get anything in the nose. That's why people are mouth breathing. So we uh we have all the tools. We have a little bit of knowledge to know what to do. The difficulty is for people is to make it part of their lifestyle because society is not for this lifestyle. Society wants to eat, drink, enjoy life, in
Mm-hmm.
pain, misery, and suffering. That's the way it is. That's what society wants. Pain, misery, and suffering. And they believe they're enjoying life. And this is pushed upon us, and it's uh, it's very easy to fall into that because it's so addictive, that lifestyle. All the things we use in that lifestyle are very addictive, right? The high obstructive foods, the high protein foods, the high fat foods, the chemical foods, the fast foods, all the fast foods have sugar and salt and fat. Those are the
Mm.
three addiction ingredients mixed together. And that's lethal when they're mixed together, right? It's horrific for you. Fat and sugar, it's a big no-no. We want to stay away from mixing fat and sugars. That's what, you know, will give you big problems. If you're eating any fats, don't have any sweet with it. It's even in the fruit kingdom, you don't want to be doing that. I know people eating nuts and dates together. Horrific combination. Horrific. Tastes great. Highly addictive. Nuts. What happens when you eat too many nuts? You go nuts. Right? It's
Exactly, yeah.
just you eat and eat and eat, and all of a sudden, it's just like you're drained, right? 'Cause it's just you can't. It's wood basically. It's like wood. Some of these nuts,
Mm-hmm.
very very difficult to digest. If you're eating any nuts and seeds, just a few of them. Small handful. That's it. Very very occasional. I'll have them very occasionally, but it's so easy to overdo them. They're so addictive.
Yeah.
In Arnold Harrod's book, which I don't agree, he was mixing, raisins with nuts. He said they digested better. No, I'm sorry, Arnold Harrod. You gave us wonderful information, but that one there is incorrect.
Yeah.
It's addictive. That's what he was experiencing, addiction.
Yeah, that formula Arnold Barrett shared reminds me of something that really obstructions are you aware of the term samskaras?
No.
Um, so it, you've mentioned before ancient trauma. I don't know if ancient is the right word, but trauma that comes from like
Ancestral.
ancestral trauma, exactly. So samskaras are actually um that essentially like parts of our body that hold specific intention and emotional information
Right.
as trauma.
Yeah.
And it seems that all obstructions are is that it's literally that.
Well,
And
that's why we say, the volition and emotion is seed of all creation. Everything
mm-hmm,
you just said, it all comes from the emotion. First and foremost, there's something in the emotion that's allowing us to create it in the physicality, allowing
yeah.
us to go eat whatever and create it in the physicality.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all in emotion. The physicality part is the simple. It's the simple thing to do. It's the emotion that we all have challenges with to control those.
We can control them. It's like um these traumas are like inner childs frozen in time and space, just feeling that emotion over and over again, and then we project it into actions in the physical world to keep us safe or to keep that part of us safe, which is actually not the actual thing that will get us to safety, if you know what I mean. Like that impulse to get to that obstructive food or that drug or another drink. you know? And I think we create, of course, we create addiction, that sense of addiction, through the inner child thinking you will get some love out of that, which it won't. It would just destroy itself.
Yeah.
That's at the core, that's addiction. It's us thinking we'll get something from something outside of us, which will not provide us. Like all of the love we want is actually within. It's just that that obstruction creates like a filter of a false version of reality. Like it doesn't let us see. That's why it has that pulling effect. It's like that obstruction blinds us to what is actually going on, which is love is all around us. That's what's going on. Like limitlessness is all around us. Infinite possibilities is all around us. That's what's going on. All of the rest is just judgment and mind jargon. Yeah.
Monkey mind. Oh yeah, the monkey mind. No, it's still it's too hot to fast. It's too cold to fast. Well, I got a birthday party to go to. I can't fast. I got a wedding to go to. I can't fast. It's always excuses.
Yeah.
So that monkey mind never stops. We just need to um, take control of it and put it aside. Yeah, okay, I know you're there, but I'm not paying attention to you. Just look like a river stream flowing, and just all those thoughts and that are coming through, just watch them go by and don't pay attention to them.
Yeah. Being in the eye of the storm. Yeah.
We we're being influenced by everything around us and people and so on and so forth. So um like I said before, the fasting lifestyle, it's not something that is, I don't think it's going to ever be popular. But um people are looking more like a fad kind of thing. It comes and goes, like all things do. Like the keto diets was nothing new, right? It was something that was revamped from many years ago, and everything else. It's just they cycle. They go through cycles. They come and they go, and they come and they go. Fasting, same thing. People love the drama. They see people rejuvenate and so on and so forth very quickly, and they love that drama. And when there's no more drama, the people are gone.
Yeah.
We want to make it in a way that we can find a level, basically, of MFS level that we're able to enjoy it. Because if we don't enjoy it, if we don't love it, we're not going to do it. That's it. So 108 days, yeah, we do amazing miracles, but you know, what are people doing after? Are they
Yeah.
living it and loving it? Few people are. And the ones we hear from, that are living, loving it, they're just reaping the rewards. But the rest, a lot of people will take parts of what they've learned and use in their life. And then you have people that will point fingers and blame everybody except themselves of all the problems in their life. They go back to their old ways and they'll blame Masterfast for all the problems in their
Yeah,
life.
that's the monkey mind again. The monkey mind can only jerk the wheel hard right or hard left and go round and round and round in cycles. Yeah.
Yeah, all our problems are in the mirror. Look, we look in the mirror, we'll find everything. Fasting is beautiful because it reveals everything. There's nothing you can't hide. In the nakedness of the fast, especially in the dry fasting state, which is the only true fasting state, everything comes to the surface. You start seeing everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not ready to make those changes and embrace those changes, you'll go back to your old ways.
Yeah.
Then there's stuff that happens in life, major things and stresses. It all happens to all of us, and life happens, and it can trigger us to go back to, obstructive eating and so on and so forth. So we have to be, aware and take responsibility of whatever we do, no matter what it is. But it's like we're talking emotion, emotion, emotion. It's all emotional.
It
Everything
is.
we're talking about, it all goes back to emotion.
Yeah.
And if we can learn how to, even master the emotion that much, we, we can do anything, just that much. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. Hey, John, how you doing? Watching from Native American powwow at Forey Bears uh, Casino and Lodge Event Center, Newtown, North Dakota. Enjoy yourself. Diane, hey, Diane. Lots of love, you guys. It's lots of fun, Renato. Lots of fun. Just you're young. What's your age?
21.
Yeah, you're just a kid, man. You got if you tap into this little bit of information that we have, you'll be flying, man. Nothing will stop you, man. You'll be flying.
Yeah.
In a few years, you'll just be flying. It's like, food. Do we need to eat? No, man, we don't need to eat. And you're gonna know that when you've done this for a while, you're gonna know that. And
Hmm.
and it's your choice. Do you want to eat for fun? More or less, or not at all? It's gonna be your choice.
Yeah.
I love to eat, but we're sticking to mostly fruit, it's the easiest thing, man. You don't have to worry about anything, man. Just you wash it and it's ready to go. No, no preparing anything.
A question, Gino. What what actually excites you to get out of bed every day?
What excites me?
Yeah.
Life. I love life.
Hmm.
As soon as I open my eyes, man, boom, I'm out of bed, man.
Just that air going through the lungs.
I can't stay in bed, man. Laying there every once in a while, there's one of those days, but the majority of the point, I'm opening my eyes, I'm up, I got to get up.
Yeah.
And there's those few days, you eat obstructive foods, and those are the days that takes a little bit longer to get out of bed, right? Because if you eat obstructive foods, you're going to feel it depending on what it is and how much you eat. You're going to feel it for a day or two or three or even more. It depends if you really overdid it. So I don't like overdoing it with that stuff too much because it really slows me down. Any
Hmm.
any fats like the high fats, low fats I can handle. Like olives and durian is about the highest fat. That I don't like to go more than the durian. Durian is like 30% fat. Anything more than that, it's very hard on my system. My body does not like fat anymore. That's for sure. Uh,
Hmm.
fats. So the low to medium, yeah, I can handle them, and not all the time. Olives are pretty simple, uh, if they're done right. Yeah. So in Italy, I had those beautiful sun-dried olives, man. Oh man, I don't know if you're an olive lover, man. Just amazing, man. Sun-dried olives. There's just nothing, just sun-dried. They're like
Mm.
black and they have intense flavor.
We have infinite olives here.
What kind?
What kinds? I have no clue the name, but they're
You're in
small dark ones
you're
and
in
slightly
Portugal?
tinted. Portugal, yeah.
Yeah, you guys got lots of olives.
Yeah.
See if you can find sun-dried one. I'm sure somebody's doing them.
I only see the fermented ones.
Fermented? How do they ferment them?
Well, don't they put it in vinegar or something?
Well, there's many ways. The vinegar, they can do salt bath, they do lye. There's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they cook them. There's all kinds of ways to prepare olives. But sun-dried they're in Italy. I was actually, there's in the area. I was in Puglia. There's thousands and thousands of olive trees. So that was, going through some of them, and we found some sun-dried olives right on some trees. They shrivel up, they wrinkle when they're sun-dried,
Mm-hmm.
and they go dark, and we're just pigging out on that stuff. But yeah, if you have to have somebody has to have the knowledge. You have to pick them at a certain time, then you can lay them out and sun dry them right off the tree.
Mm.
They're just awesome, awesome.
Have you ever traveled to any tropical countries like
Venezuela,
Venezuela?
Belize.
Yes. And were you fruitarian then?
Uh, in those days, I was eating a lot of fruit, and I was raw foodist.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, I was always eating fruit, but I was also having vegetables, right? Salads and so on and so forth, and I was doing sprouts those days as well. But yeah, it's tons of fruit.
The
It's
quality.
paradise in the tropical places, man. You don't want to eat anything else. The,
Yeah.
the fruit is amazing, but we're getting pretty good quality fruit. Sometimes in Toronto area.
Mm.
So it's right now we've got mangoes and papaya. Beautiful, beautiful mangoes and papaya. Before it was last month we were doing some melons. We have like canary melons and Santa Claus melons. They're pretty good. And what else do we have? The grapes, they went crazy in prices. Now it's not grape season. Cherries will be out in the next month. Cherries are awesome. So yeah, I look for what's ripe. That's the way I purchase fruits. I look for what's the ripest, and I want to enjoy eating my fruit. If it's not ripe, you're not going to enjoy it, and you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah.
So if you're in a place where you can't access ripe fruit, good luck being a fruitarian. It's not going to happen unless you're doing the non-sweet fruits only. And I don't know if there's any fruitarians who are only doing non-sweet fruits. I'm not sure if there's anybody out there in the world. There may be,
Maybe, but it probably sucks.
tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers. I don't know if it sucks, but it may be possible. But people are thinking calories. Where do you get calories? It's not about calories, but um, I think it's possible to do that. I don't know if there's people because the sweet fruit is so satisfying, right?
Yeah.
The savory stuff is also satisfying in a different sense. Sometimes you want some savory stuff, it's just the
Mm-hmm.
way it is. But when the fruit's ripe, it's so satisfying. Like the mangoes now are really nice. Sometimes you get them ripe and sometimes they're not quite ripe, but you leave them for a few days or a week and they ripen beautifully. When they're green, forget it. They ain't gonna ripen. They'll just rot.
Yeah.
So we don't buy them. I buy things, and the papayas were really nice, yellow color, yellow orange, beautiful. So very good quality we're getting. Ozonate them, away we go. You eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so for the salads, I was posting some zucchinis, cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes, okra. Okra's a fruit. Um, whatever else you want to throw in there, you want to throw a couple of greens. Sometimes we'll do some sprout, but now there's the garden starting, some greens are growing, some of the spinach and some of the wild stuff, dandelion and what do we have also out there? We have a lemon balm, we have some herbs and stuff. So yeah, I just throw some of that, some mint, mix it in, just very, very satisfying fruit salad, fruit-based salads. Very satisfying. Throw some lemon, a little bit of balsamic if you like, or apple cider, or just, plain lemon, if or, whatever, however you like it. Some
Mm-hmm.
people do orange juice. But yeah, it's so easy living a fruit-based lifestyle when you're eating. So easy. Simple, 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 simple. No, not much thinking involved in preparing foods, right? Look for what's ripe. And that's another big challenge is a lot of people don't know how to eat fruit and pick and eat it. They don't know. Friends and buy them. I go, this is not right, man. You gotta buy them when they're ripe. No wonder you're not eating it. You can't enjoy yourself eating non-ripe fruit. Then he comes to my house and we give him some mangoes. Ooh, these are ripe. I go, yeah, that's the way you're supposed to eat them, not green. You're not gonna, you're not gonna eat it. You're not gonna enjoy it. You're not gonna stick to it. So that's, going shopping's funny. You know, when it was grape season, I'm looking for all the ripe grapes. And I'm watching people picking grapes. They're picking all the most unripe grapes. And
Mm.
grapes don't ripen once they're off the vine. And that's what people buy.
Well,
And
what are ripe grapes? How
for
do you check that?
example, the green ones they turn yellowish. They're not green, they
Mm.
turn yellowish when they're ripe. And they're
Mm-hmm.
sweet, very sweet. The black ones, they have to be because black is not a sweet category. It's subacid, right? But it does have some sweetness, like the Concord grape is also subacid. It's
Mm-hmm.
got some sweetness. So if you're eating the dark grapes and there's absolute no sweetness and they're tart, really, really tart, you won't be able to eat them. I remember in Italy, we were doing me and my dad were doing a 30-day grape fast, grape fast, we call it, and grape eat, just eating grapes. And we were getting the beautiful big black grapes they had. And we were getting case every time when we went to this place. And then one time we grab a case and we go home, wash with ozone, because I bring my ozone here. We're eating. Both me and my dad can't eat these. You eat 3 or 4 and your body's saying no. You just,
Yeah.
I want to bring them back. And they didn't want to take it back. I just left the case there. We went somewhere else and never went back to that place. And we
Mm-hmm.
found an even better place. And the guy was bringing them fresh every morning. Beautiful. I go, you get this every day? Yeah. So we had a beautiful connection from that after we were getting, oh man. And like you put one grape in your mouth and you're choking because so much juice squirts into your throat. And it's just a wonderful experience when you're eating ripe fruit,
Yeah.
So when fruit is ripe, you're going to enjoy it. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Not enjoying it, it ain't ripe. The beauty about fruit, it could be rotten, like rotting, and you can eat it. You're not going to get sick from fruit. Doesn't matter how rotten it is. Vegetables, you will get sick if they're rotten, right? Or anything else in the food chain. Fruit, you can eat it rotten and you will not get sick. Tons of mold, I just cut it all off and eat it. I buy always stuff that they put out as discount because it's rotten or
Mm-hmm.
overripe or stuff. I always buy that stuff because those ones there are the best ones.
Yeah, they're ripened.
Yeah. So, just we need to learn how to buy fruit. That's number one when we're eating. Um, when we're fasting, you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Have your herbs and wash your colon, man.
Yeah.
You know, do your burn stick, skin brush, make sure your skin brush every day, man. It's so much help to the kidneys, brushing your skin, make it a daily habit, you
Mm-hmm.
know. at least once a day, twice would be better. I do, when I mean then I'll do it once, sometimes I'll do it twice, but in fasting times, I'm doing it morning and evening. Because your body's releasing so much more. It's in the obstructive state. And skin just flies off.
Yeah. I've actually seen it on the floor of the shower, all of the
Yeah, like I mentioned, it's unreal how much comes off.
yeah.
If you collect it all and put it in a jar, let me know what it smells like after a month.
Oh, I know what it would smell like. Yeah.
Try it out, so you know. Try
Mm-hmm.
it out. That's what comes off our bodies. The skin is the biggest eliminated organ.
Yeah.
It reeks.
Yeah.
Your body's getting rid of tons of waste through the skin. And that's why we're skin brushing. We want to keep those pores exercised, rebounding, skin brushing, right? We want to keep them exercising and functioning. We want to, sweat glands, we want them, our skin goes like this, right? The pores, they open and close, they're like muscles. And we want them to be able to function properly all the time. Somebody who can't sweat at all, the skin's completely all closed and plugged up.
Mm-hmm.
So skin brushing, rebounding, massive fasting lifestyle opens it all up. Everything, all the channels open up. There's no holding back. Somebody who's really plugged up, it's going to take them a few months to start opening things up. That's the way it is. It's going to be, maybe some people take even longer, maybe a few years. Depends how plugged up. Somebody's been on a high fat diet for many years. Oh boy, it's going to be a lot of work. Like high, especially, like lots of dairy and lots of oils and lots of animal fats and stuff.
Mm.
I've just watching videos of some of these carnivore people and stuff. If you look at their tongue, it's it's not in good shape. It's very, very, very full of mucus.
Mm.
They believe that these diets are healthy. Not from what I know, not from what I see. Yeah, they can be strong and muscular. That's people think that's health. Bodybuilders are dropping dead all the time. Kidney failures. They're doing drugs, and they're stressing out the body not only with the drugs, with high protein diets, and some of them are doing the high fats, right? So you're stressing with stimulants. It's stress. It's a matter of time before cease to function.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have stronger
Crash.
genetics, they'll be able to live longer on stimulants. We know that we can live long on stimulants. There's people living 100 years old and they crap their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna see less and less of that, and we're
Yeah.
already seeing that because those generations coming from the strong, cleaner environments are disappearing. Right, they're moving on to the other realms. They're we're losing all that, and children are not outliving their parents now. It's already started. It's already happening. Just in the last 4 years, it's skyrocketed. Children not outliving their parents. It's sad. It's very sad, but this is what's happening. And most people are in denial, and it's the way it is. Um, if people knew the truth, this page would be flooded, and people wanted to grasp the truth. They have to want to grasp the truth, not only know about it. you know. But yeah, stimulation is very addictive, right? So that's what people want. They want an addiction. They want to satisfy their addictions. And we're all in that. I'm also in that category. It's easy to get into those addictive states of eating, but when you're in a really clean state of mind and you're lots of energy and if you're feeling great, it's then you go eat something a little obstructive and what, I got to do less of that. It's, that's what goes on in my mind. I got to do less of that. And it gets less and less and less. And then, you know, I was when I was 100% raw days, I never would even consider eating anything like that. But, these days, go out, but somebody invites you out, I just, yeah, okay, I'll enjoy myself for now. And then I'll, fast it all out. Because you ain't gonna clean it out by doing enemas, as some people think. Oh yeah, I'll just do some enemas. You gotta fast it out. But yeah, be you stay on fruit, and fasting and fruit and herbs, you're gonna be pain free. You go to anything else, you're not gonna be pain free. Simple.
Yeah.
You'll feel it in your joints. You'll feel it in your eyes when you wake up, in your ears, your head. If I eat any grains, I can feel pressure in my head. I don't know if it's like a headache. It's very, very, very mild. It's headache, I guess you can say, but I can feel the pressure and I can feel it in my joints. Any grains I
Mm.
eat. So I try and avoid grains like a plague. And fats, oh man, mucus right away. Grains give you mucus as well. Um, Proteins, high proteins, legumes. Um, those are also, they're energy robbers. All of them are energy robbers. Energy levels go down, and you can feel them differently. The high protein stuff, also, I'll feel it in my kidneys. I'll feel more pressure. Also with some of the grains, the fats. The high protein stuff is interesting. Like how some of these people are doing these high protein diets. I don't know. It's a lot of stress on the GI tract and kidneys and all the other organs as well. Very, very high stress. So
Yeah.
how long can we go stressing out every day, right? On these high protein, high fat diets? Some people they say they feel great. It's just a matter of time before it catches up.
Yeah, what I've seen with protein and the kidneys is fear. That actual emotion of fear starts building up in my kidneys. It's actually what's there, it's fear, and disrupts everything.
Yeah. I had challenges with my kidneys for many, many years, man. So my kidneys are very sensitive.
Mhm.
What you're talking about, I'm glad you're aware of your kidneys. People don't even know they have them. They all back pain. They don't even know what it is. It's all kidneys. So any pain is all goes back to your kidneys. Lymph stagnant lymph, kidneys.
Mhm.
Any pain, doesn't matter what it is. It's lymph, stagnant lymph, and kidneys are not filtering properly.
What would you say are, I know dry fasting is the most efficient ways to get them open. And what would you say are the top kidney herbs?
I'm not a herbalist myself,
Mm-hmm.
but the best way to help your kidneys.
Burn stick?
No, yeah, absolutely. Burn stick, that's one thing. But no, the best way to help your kidneys is keep your GI tract clear.
Mm.
So, what are we doing in master fasting? So much
Yeah, true.
emphasis on cleaning the GI tract and supporting the kidneys. That's a lot of herbs are for the kidneys, bowels, and the juice that we're drinking is help washing, right? Squeeze them dry, wash. So, people that we had people not breaking their fast properly. When you dry fasting, then you start getting some edema. Wash your colon. Do extra washing of the colon, the edema goes away.
Mm.
So everything's connected.
Yeah.
So the GI tract is that plasma vacuum tube. We need to think about keeping that as free and as clear as possible, and everything else works better. That's
Yeah.
the trunk where everything stems from. Everything's fed from that, plasmatically or physically. If you eat physically, if you fast plasmatically through the
Hmm.
field. So it's our choice which one we want to choose. Do we want to do it physically or do we want to do it plasmatically?
Yeah.
And I can tell you what feels way better. But when you're on low obstruction diets, like mostly fruit, there's not a whole lot of stress coming from fruit. There is some. It does have obstructive properties, even fruit. It's still, it's like that compared to vegetables is much bigger, and then you go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So everything that we consume physically, any physicality has obstructiveness, and then of course the emotion can create the biggest obstructions.
Yeah.
You can have a heart attack with an emotion.
Mm.
You can have people have had their hair completely turn white overnight. Emotion.
Hmm.
Uh, I can tell my ex-father-in-law, he told me the story. They diagnosed him with cancer. The next day he was all white in his hair. And my ex-mother-in-law was a witness. And then it was a misdiagnosis.
Mm.
So they told him, oh no, we made a mistake. So his hair went completely white from what? The fear.
Yeah.
How's that? Isn't that amazing? So if we have the capability of doing it that way, why can't we do it the other way around? Why can't I turn my hair black instantly? It's possible,
It
but I
is, yeah.
haven't tapped into that. Of course, it's
Well,
possible. If it can be done one way, it can be done the other way, right?
of course, yeah. Well, I've experienced, for example, and more on Masterfast because it really unravels and reveals everything. So I remember this morning I prepared uh some grape juice and I actually cooked the lemon that time. And I just felt a deep sadness unravel, right? And so I always follow a process for purging emotions that I actually is similar to the burnt stick, but with conscious intention and with my fingers. So, for example, what I did there was I just said, I now welcome this sadness, and I begin to feel it. And then I asked, where do I feel this sadness the most in my body? And then this occurred for the first time ever. I've done several purges like this. I've grabbed my two fingers and I felt the density and the sadness in my heart. And I actually felt this time the black hole. Like I actually was able to tap into the actual fields where before I will just feel like, yeah, it's my physical body, but I could actually feel the pulling like a vortex in my heart. And when I focus my conscious intention on it, and with through deep, slow breathing, the emotion starts to dissolve. And after some minutes, 10 minutes, around that time, the emotion dissolves completely, and I am able to expand into love. That's how I've been using, for example, the burn stick for the kidneys. I do the same thing whenever I feel pain in my kidneys. I already know it's fear. So I just say, I now welcome this fear in my kidneys, and I actually feel it. And then I love it. Put two fingers and breathe into it. That's how I've been able to dissolve pain, whether physical or emotional, like in minutes. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Very good. Very aware for a young kid. It took
Thank you.
me a while before I started being aware, you know, in 20, was that 26, 1990? Yeah, is that and some people they go through their whole life and they're not aware of their physical body. Like when I go back in my memory, prior to 26 years old, I had no connection to how I felt and what I ate. I had no
Yeah.
connection. So, we have to think this is how most people are. That's why they go to doctors because they have no connection.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else to tell them what's wrong with them. There's
Yeah.
zero connection. So when you're aware of what's going on, you know, what do you consume, how you feel, wake up in the morning, what did I eat, and you know what's going on, and then you start putting it all together. And also the biggest one we've talked about is emotion, you know, what happened in the arguments and this and that, and you'll see how you respond physically for it. You know, it's uh, it's amazing because everything like we say is motion is seed of all, right? The volition, the intent,
Mm-hmm.
like the word of volition and emotion. It's how all creation is formed. Everything, emotion, emotion puts it into motion,
Mm-hmm.
creates the physicality. The emotion creates the physicality.
Yeah. Well, what I see is actually stillness. Like, for example, is the what's the name? Buddhic breath?
Buteyko,
Buteyko.
Russian doctor.
Once in a while you hold after you exhale.
Yeah, all nasal breathe, always in and out through the nose. Never just the way they practice for the sleep is put a little piece of tape on your mouth
Mm-hmm.
this way. So if you ever have to throw up, it's
Yeah.
open. Just to train yourself to keep your mouth closed during your sleep. So you nasal breathe. But
Mm-hmm.
once you've done it for a while, you will not breathe through your mouth no more. You will
Yeah.
be it'll be you'll be conscious of it and unconscious. You know, mouth breathers are unconscious completely of breathing. They don't know. So yeah, that's so we call them controlled pauses. So you're just breathe normal, right? And then on your exhale, you hold. And you hold and as long as you can comfortably. You don't force it, comfortably. And then you take not a not a big breath, a normal breath. If you have to take a big breath, you're forcing yourself. So you don't want to be forcing yourself on controlled pauses. No force, no stresses. When you're exercising, let's say you're out running or biking or whatever, you're doing something really heavy physical, you're going to take more air,
Mm-hmm.
but you want to be conscious of only nasal breathing. Tape up your mouth if you're doing exercise. It's going to be hard. You're going to feel like you're suffocating for a while. And it may happen quicker for you because you're young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but a few months it usually takes to reprogram, and then you're going to be permanent on it's a habit for you after. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
part of your life. But this is one thing we've been advocating for many years now. Buteyko breathing. How many people are practicing it? I don't know. People don't share. We don't know. But even when I yawn, I force my yawn through my nose. I do. If you watch me, I'm forcing my yawn through my nose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take in. I don't want to, because if you take in a big breath from the mouth, it cancels out the CO2 you built up.
Mm,
I want to cancel out my CO2. So we're always working on keeping the CO2 level high. So energy transfer is very efficient because any physical problems, it's going to be uh, directly affected by not enough CO2 for energy transfer in the physicality. And
mm,
of course, emotions involved in that too,
mm-hmm,
because the breath. So if we can continuously keep our CO2 up, then we have to work on all the other stuff. You know, we've taken care of the breath. Then we have to stay focused on the fasting and the clean minimal eating, right? And then emotions, which is the most challenging for everybody. But
mm-hmm,
the breath, because it's connected to the emotion, I think we can um, master our emotions through the breath,
mm-hmm.
connected. So that's why we highly advocate people practice and live the Buteyko type, do the Buteyko type breathing as a lifestyle, along with, you know, master fasting. We use the Buteyko method, not that he invented it, it goes back to the Vedic yogis.
Mm.
So he just made it more into a scientific thing, you know. But hey, it was good work, and they have this method. You can look it up and find people showing on YouTube, you know, they're teaching how to do it and stuff. I don't know. I've never taken a course myself, but I've read about it and I've watched several videos. So that's basically it. I don't know how much more emphasis you can do, but you know, if you sit down and you want to spend half an hour doing Buteyko, controlled pauses, it's only going to help you. You know, you do twice a day, it's only going to help you.
Yeah. It's remind me of yeah, I read that book because it was on Masterfast website, Jasmine Food of Gods. She talks about the ancient Vedic breath, and I've actually implemented it as it's now my first nature. The only difference is it doesn't include the pauses, and the exhale is through the mouth. So inhale is through the nose. Um, for me, I know it facilitates in releasing emotion when you're actually there feeling the emotion with full presence. It really, at least for me, it helps exhale through the mouth. But otherwise, Buteyko. I've actually done Buteyko intuitively because of adrenal fatigue, you know? And it really helps with adrenal fatigue for me.
All young generation have kidney adrenal challenges.
Yeah. I do
Um,
some licorice for that
yeah,
and
yeah,
fasting.
yeah. Licorice, throw it in your teas, chew on it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, the mouth is it's not designed for breathing. They did
Mm.
tests on monkeys, which is horrific. They plugged up their nostrils and they ran them through their life. It changed all their teeth structure, their face structure, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sickness, all the above.
I imagine disaster.
So um, exhaling through the mouth is not nowhere near as bad as inhaling through the mouth. I said, you know, the breath, the nasal passage goes where? Through the brain,
Mm-hmm.
the cavities of the nasal. And so those fields are going through the brain. So if we're going through the mouth,
Yep.
The information's not being transferred to the brain.
Yeah.
So there's a
Ooh.
reason we have a nose and a mouth.
So that the reptilian is not in charge.
Mouth, we can talk or we can eat.
Yeah.
We can bite things. Nose is for breathing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a nose.
Hmm.
When people do nose, structural nose surgery, changes their personality because you change the fields,
Yeah.
the shape.
Yeah.
When you change the shape, you change the way the air flows. Change people, a lot of people don't know this, changes their personality.
Yeah, because the
How much change, like, somebody has a really big nose and it'll change their personality.
actual presence changes. Yeah.
You can't mess with genetics the way they tell us. It's all bullcrap. You're going to cause imbalances, period.
Hmm.
Like chickens revert back after a few generations. The original strain. Just leave them alone. You damage them and then it takes a while to correct it. But nature does. It will correct it.
Yeah. Better enough perfection.
So yeah, martial arts when you know, no big deal. But uh, I would suggest try nasal only breathing. If you're doing Wim Hof, the Wim Hof method.
Hmm.
Okay, when you do that, instead of doing it through the mouth, take the inhales through the nose, and you can do the exhale through the mouth. I would not myself recommend the Wim Hof as a regular thing. Use it. You know, I don't think no more than once a week if you want to do something like that, because it's a fight or flight mode that you put yourself into.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in a fight or flight mode every single day.
Hmm.
So it's just my opinion. There's people doing it every day. There was one guy, I watched the video. I can't find the video anymore. He went through a whole year and he documented
Mm.
all the benefits he was getting. And then it reached the point where he plateaued, and then the benefits started decreasing. It was a beautiful video the way he did it. And he was
Mm.
doing it every day, the Wim Hof method. And what do we say about plateauing? There's no plateauing in master fasting. There's plateauing in eating. There's plateauing in taking herbs and eating. There's, plateau in all kinds of different things. But in master fasting, there's no plateauing. So,
Hmm.
this Wim Hof method, yeah, you can do incredible feats and everything because we're putting ourselves in a fight or flight mode. And I like that method too. I'll use it occasionally. But to do it all the time is just like eating stimulating food all the time. What's going to happen? It's going to be a price to pay, cause and effect. So I don't agree with doing that every day. People doing the cold baths every single day. This guy was doing that. He was doing the breathing and the cold bath. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. He was doing the cold baths as well. And yeah, he got beautiful, excellent, amazing results. I can't remember what his challenges were. This was a few years ago, and I can't find it. And then, like I said, it plateaued, no more results, and then started losing the results that he gained. So if anybody can find that video, it would be interesting to share it again so you can see. Um, well, that's just 1 year.
Yeah, really realizing that the air is actually creating our bodies and rebuilding it and regenerating it is what eliminates all plateaus. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fields. It's all in the fields.
Hmm.
We get most of our energy from in the physicality through air. I don't know the percentages, but I think most of it's from the air, then the sunlight and the earth. Those are the three biggies, and the moon as well, and the other planets if they exist, and trees, and all plants, right? People, other people. We can get energy, or they can take energy from us. Um, but we're always giving, so if we live in this lifestyle, we have excess amounts of energy to give. So the more we give, the more we receive. So these are the biggest forms of energy. The physical eating is, in plasma science, they say it's like a maximum 20%. Because where does the body get energy to digest food? From the food? And then it'd be zero energy, right? If it's being used to digest,
Yeah.
oh, the food gives you more energy, then no, that's all bull crap. See, when you start asking the proper questions, all their stuff falls apart.
Yeah.
You just answers in plain sight, as we say. So yeah, you don't get, your body uses way more energy to digest food than the energy it gives you.
Yep.
So all those sources are where we're getting our energy from. So why don't we tap into more of those energies, which are way more efficient? And
Yeah.
that's master fasting lifestyle. We're focusing on those energies. We're not focusing at all on nutrition, vitamins, minerals, calories, amino acids, fat. We're not focusing on none of those. We don't care about any of those. Kohan is, we're all carbon-based beings, which is COHN is the basics of all life forms on this planet. It's the amino acids, but energetically, not physically, not through the foods, through the air. We get more through the air. Carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and the nitrogen is all in the air, right? That's Cohen. There's where we get the most of energy.
I don't even believe that, to be honest. Like I believe these are still definitions, like
We are.
they are. Yeah, it's not actually, it's just plasma.
We don't know anything,
Yeah.
but we have a little bit of an understanding. Let's put it that way, because people
Yeah.
want to know all this stuff, and it doesn't mean anything. But it's just the plasma. What's plasma? It's the divine plasma. Love always flows. It's the love that's flowing from the divine creator. That's all the plasma is.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. It's that
Hmm.
love that is continuously spewing out at us. Here, I'm going to keep giving it to you. I'm going to flood you guys.
Hmm.
And some people don't accept it. And, you know, and some people, they numb themselves up.
Yeah.
They don't want that. And then they don't feel loved. And then they plug themselves up even more because they think that's how they get their love, as we were saying earlier, and so on and so forth. But
Well,
yeah, it's lots of fun.
I think Jesus said something like this, like the only way to experience the love you are is through acceptance and forgiveness. Just accept and forgive. I think that's the only way to experience that love. It's just, yeah, I did all of that stuff. I was ignoring my true essence, and I still accept and forgive myself. I'm ready for what actually is. It seems that that dissolves obstructions, is just accepting and forgiving.
We're at wow, 10:30 already. What level are you living or on MFS?
Well, I'm not really following levels. I'm just doing what my master tells me. The master within. Um, I'm doing grape juice, lemon juice. Sometimes I eat fruit. Sometimes I don't eat anything. And I just like simplicity. And this provides me with that. Yeah.
Very good. Anybody got any questions before we wrap it up? Let's see, I think there's a few people up here. All righty. Thanks for joining us, Renato, and keep living it, keep loving it. Just, I suggest stay away from all information out there. There's so much crap out there, man. Just
Yeah.
tap into your master, as you say, and it'll give you all the information you need. You know, this roadmap that we've developed, it very simple for everybody to do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
roadmap for people with tools to use, infinite amount of tools we have. Well, not infinite, but there is. And we just keep plugging away, paying attention, and every year gets a little better, a little better, a little better if we stay on course.
Yeah. I appreciate you, Gino.
All right, guys. Send out lots of plath. Till next time. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.